kind of nice. Just sail through to round 2.
So Ethan, I don't know if you want to start with the rules for team no longer free agents, and I'll try to see if Rochelle is able to join to do scorekeeping.
Sounds good. Welcome. And I'm in my alternate studio currently, so it's a little odd. I don't feel quite at home, but welcome and welcome back. We're in round 2, though. Our no longer free agents team is in their first match. They had a bye in the first round. 5 not named Stuart are here for their second matchup. They had a pretty thrilling first round match as well. So I will go through the rules just because we've got one team that's new. Anybody here? I know not Stuart K. You've already been through a match, but anybody new to TPT? Give me a quick hand raise if you're your first one. No, all professionals. Okay. Well, we do have some new rules this year, so I will go over the new rules. I'll remind you all of the old rules. But of course, after I go through the rules, you can ask any questions just to make sure you know what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through 2 rounds of 6 categories each, 5 questions per category. So that's a total of 60 questions, 30 questions in the first round, 30 questions in the second round. First round questions will go up in point value and in difficulty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second round, they're worth 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So those are the point values. Remember that you get points for questions you answer incorrectly. You lose points, so there's a penalty for guessing. You lose points for questions that you answer incorrectly. So we'll be scoring you based off of those general rules. One of the things that's new this year, so if you've read through the new rules, one thing that's new this year is that you only can buzz in twice per round as an individual. That allows more people on the team to buzz in. So as we go through a round, if you buzz in, once you've buzzed in twice, you will not want to buzz in again because there will be a penalty for buzzing in a third time. So we'll take away points from you, the value of the question, if you buzz in a third time in a round. One of the things I've been recommending after you've buzzed in twice in a category, just take your hands, put them up in the air. That's a good reminder to yourself to not buzz in. It's also a good reminder for me that you cannot buzz in, and we'll have Rochelle and Dan keeping an eye on you to make sure that you do not break the rules. But just
and Ethan, just you forgot to also wave them like you just don't care.
Yes, you can also throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. Get your hands off the buzzer. We've had it happen a couple times, so teams have been penalized for this. We'll be keeping a pretty close eye on how you do. So that's all true. The other new rule this year is that you cannot confer with your team when we're reading a question or before you buzz in. So no team conferring. You have phone lines. You should all be logged into your phone lines. You can talk with one another. You cannot talk with each other, though, prior to buzzing in. Where you can confer, as in years past, is in the case of a steal. So stealing rules, if you've forgotten, if the opposing team rings in, answers incorrectly, we will then shoot it over to the other team to decide whether to answer or pass. You can confer. You'll have 10 seconds to confer as a team about your answer. And then the team captains. Team captains are Janet and Chris, I believe. So Janet, Chris, just make sure that you don't have to buzz in if you choose to answer. Just make sure to come off of mute and let us know whether you're passing or you want to provide an answer.
And we can also talk when you announce the next category before the questions start, correct? Well,
that's a great segue. So at the beginning of each category, I will announce the name of the category. You are allowed to confer for about 10 seconds. I'll give you a round there. To get ready for the category, you can talk about how you want to handle it strategy-wise. You may, if it's a category where it's your specialty. So for me, that would be African geography. You may want to hold off answering until the 4 or 5 or 8 or 10 point questions. So the rest of your team can get the easier questions first. So conferring can happen in steals. It can happen in the 10 seconds before the category is announced, but it cannot happen. So we'll be keeping an eye on your mouths. But again, it's the honor system. We trust you all in the same way we trust that you're not looking up answers on the internet while we're asking them. We've got a really great board today. I really like the questions. I hosted a game on Friday. I hated the questions. We had a whole category about the Brownings. Robert Browning, Elizabeth Barrett Browning. It was not good. So we've got good categories today. I think you'll all be ringing in pretty quickly in these categories. So you won't really have time to be conversing with each other anyway, but please abide by the rules as we go. All right. I think other rules. In case of a tie, we'll do an extra category. That doesn't happen super often, so we'll see. Oh, if there's a surprise substitution, you remember these from years past. Occasionally, we'll run into a question along the way. that was like a video or audio question from the specific game that we cannot reproduce. So in that case, you'll see the surprise substitution taco. In my case, there's a dancing taco that will make an appearance. Once you see the dancing taco, we will have a substitute question.
Song, right?
Bob does the song. I just have a dancing taco. I try to do my best to do the song justice, but I know I cannot. So
We should record Bob singing it.
yeah, we should record Bob singing it. It's quite a thing. But if you're good enough, I always say that I'm like the when I'm hosting your matches, you're still in the early rounds, right? It's like the NCAA tournament when they're still in Scranton. That's how you get me as a host. So once you move on to later rounds, you'll get the pleasure of being in one of Bob's. So that's the spoils. Any other questions before we get started? Like I said, we got to.
I think we just need the code.
Oh yeah, we need to get you all logged in. Dan. Dan.
I think-
Dan.
Yep. So Rochelle, you have it?
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Do you see it?
Yes, we do now.
475.
Game code is 475. 475. So we'll get everybody in. We'll get you all testing your buzzers. But go ahead and log in.
You ready, Ethan?
Am I ready for what?
The excitement of this match.
I am always ready for the excitement of every match. Did you see my hat?
Yeah, I've got one too. I was runner-up last year.
Yeah. There's nothing that makes you cooler than wearing a TPT runner-up hat. It is the pinnacle of popularity.
It is.
I've worn this out in public, which is rare because it's hard to explain when people ask you what it is. It's been a good topic of conversation. So you got Jean, Chris, Peter, Katie, and Janet all in. Rochelle, do you want to name off people and have them buzz?
Sure. Let's start with the red team. Jed? Kat? Jean? Christastic? Is that?
It's like Chris, but fantastic.
It's a cool name. Okay, blue. Peter? Katie? Janet? Bailey?
That is the smoothest buzzer check I have seen so far. So seems like we're really getting good at this.
All right, so I will mute myself.
Awesome. Any other questions before we start now that we've got everybody logged into the buzzer? I'm counting to 7. Trick I learned. All right. Well, let's get you all started up. Give me a quick. Yep.
Just to double check, people are telling me on my conference line that I'm not on camera.
That is true. Oh, no, you're there for me. You just have to click on you.
You are not there for me, but
Yeah, I don't see Chris either.
If you click on my name, do you see me?
Yeah, it's the number of people in the Hangout. So as
Yep.
you become an active speaker, if someone wants to click on you directly, they can to see that you are in fact there.
So be extra not cheaty in case we can't see you. Not cheaty. I think that's a good adjective. Okay. Quick thumbs up. Ready to go? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Across the board. Good. Well, I'm excited for you newbies, you noobs who have your first match today, but hopefully you don't get buzzer anxiety and that you can ring in quickly to these questions. First category, just so you can confer for about 10 seconds to decide how you want to handle it. First category is going to be the solar system. The solar system. A little astronomy.
It's like planets and stuff, right, Ethan?
Like planets and stuff.
Not astrology.
Not astrology.
Astronomy.
I always said that I couldn't teach the MCAT because I didn't understand astrology enough. People made fun of me because that wasn't on the MCAT. That's the joke. All right. Solar system. Here we go. Let's start with the 1-point question. Get your buzzer fingers warmed up. Solar system, 1 point. Here we go. In December 2006, NASA announced that water may have flowed on this planet's surface within the Jed.
Mars.
Mars is correct. Within the past decade. Water on Mars. Nice job for 1 point. Way to get on the board. 2-point question coming up in the solar system. In 1980, Hermes One of these objects came within 300,000 miles of the Earth. Chris.
Asteroid.
An asteroid is correct for 2 points. Not a comet, but an asteroid. That is correct for 2 points. Nice work. 3-point question. Solar system. On October 10th, 1846, 17 days after the discovery of this planet, its largest moon, Triton, was discovered. Gene.
Neptune.
Neptune is correct for 3 points. Nice job. 2 people got that wrong on Jeopardy. 4-point question. These solar discharges, consisting of light, heat, and cosmic rays, may last up to an hour. Gene.
Solar flares.
Solar flares are correct for 4 points. You may want to take your hands off. That's 2 buzzes in for you. And lastly, our 5-point question. In 2005, scientists announced the discovery of Eris, a dwarf planet larger than Pluto, in this belt. In Peter.
Kuiper Belt.
The Kuiper Belt is correct. Nice job to get on the board on the big 5-point question. That was a triple stumper on the actual Jeopardy. So, Peter, you are smarter than 3 people at least. The Kuiper Belt is correct. At the end of our first category, so nice job getting the cobwebs out. It is 10-5. 5-0 Stuart. Cavs 10. No longer free agents with 5. That's 1 category down. We got 5 more to go in this round. Category number 2, give you a second to think about it. It is at the drugstore. At the drugstore. About drugs. Or just things at the drugstore.
So it can probably be anything. These days, you can get anything.
These days, you can find anything. You can find bananas at the drugstore. That's bananas. All right. At the drugstore, 1-point question coming up. Its fast-acting formula gets the red out. Its fast-acting formula, Janet.
Visine.
Visine is correct. It gets the red out. Nice job for 1 point. 2-point question coming up at the drugstore. According to its website, when you need better allergy relief, you need this histamine blocker. According to its website, when you need better allergy relief, you need this histamine blocker. 10 seconds. All right, time. Oh, Peter, just before.
Allegra.
Allegra is incorrect. We'll take away 2 points from you. And the red team, I will read it for you one more time, and you can decide whether to steal or pass. According to its website, when you need better allergy relief, you need this histamine blocker.
We are going to steal, and we're going to go with Benadryl.
And that's a good steal. Benadryl is correct for 2 points. Nice work. Our first big steal. I mean, only a 4-point swing. It's not a big steal, but it's a good steal. Nice job. 3-point question coming up at the drugstore. Hands, buzzers. Let's go. Ooh, I shouldn't have had that 4th bowl of chili. Now I need this antacid that spells relief. Chris.
Tums.
Tums is incorrect. We'll take away 3 points. And I'll read it again for Janet and team. Ooh, should have had that 4th bowl of chili. Now I need this antacid that spells relief. Give me 10 seconds.
Is it Rolaids?
Rolaids is correct. And the steal has swung the other way. Nice job for 3 points. Rolaids spells relief. Nice work. Tums was also incorrectly answered on the show. Very straightforward thing. Chris, make sure you're on mute. I think you are, but I can't tell. 4-point question. At the drugstore. Hands on buzzers. Close game. For a quick tan, Pick up one of these self-tanning products sold under this brand whose name means bath of the sun. Gene.
Bain du Soleil.
Bain du Soleil, if you want to say it fancy, is correct for 4 points. Nice job. And lastly, 5-point question at the drugstore. Hands on buzzers. Aveeno's balancing bar contains this finely milled product to soothe and cleanse the skin. Gene.
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal is correct for 5 points.
Guys, Bailey doesn't look like she's on the buzz-in board.
Bailey, do you want to go ahead and try to buzz? It could be just the cookie, something that happens. Bailey, do you want to? Yep, still good. It just the board will sometimes erase people.
Yeah, it's really slow though. Like I hit the button and nothing pops up. So I don't know if maybe that's because I'm on my phone. I'll try a different tablet maybe next time.
You can also refresh. But when you hit it and nothing happens, it's because somebody else already buzzed in.
No, I know that, but anyways.
Oops. Unless you're hitting it before someone's buzzing in and it's not doing anything. Okay, you might want to refresh your whole buzzer.
All right. Well, we're two categories down. We've got a good 10 categories still to go. Score is 18 for 5 Not Stuart Ks and 7 for No Longer Free Agents. I still love the Not Stuart Kavinsky team name. It just makes me happy. Good old Stu. Okay. Category 3, if you want to chat, is also a playing card. All of the answers will also be a playing card. Also a playing card.
Does that mean there's only 52 possible answers?
Probably. I mean, there's probably only like 13 possible answers. I'm like, well, they might be asking for both the card and the suit. So be prepared for that. I might need a little bit more information from you. All right, also a playing card. Let's see how these questions work out. 1-point question. I'll deal it out to you. 1-point question. You'll need one of these to change a tire. You'll need, Katie.
A spare. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
That is incorrect. I'll read the question again for the red team. Make sure to go back on mute. 1-point question going over to the red team. You'll need one of these to change a tire.
We are going to steal, and we're going to go with a jack.
A jack is correct. Gotta remember the category. It's also a playing card, and a jack is what you'll need to change a tire. And a shot for 1 point. Some good steal so far. 2-point question coming up, and also a playing card. Hands on buzzers. In a famous 1858 speech, South Carolina Senator James Hammond said, "You dare not make war on cotton. Cotton is this." Jed.
King.
Cotton is king is correct. King is the playing card. Nice job for 2 points. A 3-point question. Hands on buzzers. In 2007, 102-year-old Elsie McLean, we all remember her, Elsie McLean, became the oldest person ever to achieve one of these on a golf course. Chris.
An ace.
An ace is correct. Hole in one. Nice job. 3 points. 4 points. Also a playing card. Juice Newton was playing with her, knowing it ain't really smart. Gene.
Playing with the Queen of Hearts.
Playing with the Queen of Hearts. See, we did need to know the suit on that one. Playing with the Queen of Hearts is correct for 4 points. And 5-point question. Hands up, buzzers. 40-40 at Wimbledon. Gene.
Deuce.
A deuce is correct for 5 points. Nice job. I see we're holding Gene for some of the later questions. 33-6. I'm giving away a strategy. 33-6. Not Stuart K's against the No Longer Free Agents. Nice round for Not Stuart K's. A good number of points there to pull into a nice lead. But we're only halfway through round 1. We've got 3 more categories to go. And our next category is a little NSFW. It is a nude awakening. A nude awakening. A category about naked stuff. Go ahead and take a couple seconds. naked stuff.
So you have to decide who on your team is most familiar with naked stuff.
Yes, I think that's how it works.
That's strategy.
It seems like that might be Gene. He likes himself a good nude. All right, here we go. In a nude awakening. 1 point question coming up. In 1953, he produced the first issue of Playboy for 10,000 Cat. Hugh Hefner is correct for 1 point. Nice job, Cat. 2 point question coming up in a nude awakening. No buts about it. That's butt with 2 T's. No buts about it. David Caruso, Jimmy Smits, and Dennis Franz turned the other cheek on this cop show. Janet.
NYPD Blue.
Famous for all of the butts in it. Yes, NYPD Blue is correct for 2 points. Blue team, I think we found your good category here now that we're in the naked stuff. 3 point question coming up in a nude awakening. Kathleen Turner and Jerry Hall weren't clothes-minded playing Mrs. Robinson in the stage Gene.
The Graduate.
The Graduate is correct. In the stage version of this 1967 film, they were not clothes-minded. All right, 4 point question. More naked stuff. A nude awakening, 4 points. Trying to escape his teen idol image, this Partridge Family star posed nude. Bailey.
Is it David Cassidy?
It is David Cassidy, who posed nude for Rolling Stone in 1972. Good old naked stuff. 4 points there. And our 5 point question in a nude awakening, we won't have because it's a surprise substitution. Surprise substitution. Dancing taco means surprise substitution. Look, he's even kind of smiling because he's excited about surprise substitution. All right, we got a surprise substitution. Unfortunately, for as great as this blue team has been on naked stuff, we've got to switch categories for this question and this question only. It is a 5 point question. And the category instead is for this question is Got Your Goat. Got Your Goat. It's a question about goats. Naked stuff, goats. Ooh, even knows what's going on today. All right. So we're going to ask you a 5 point question here about goats. Hands on buzzers. This 10th sign of the zodiac can be found in the nighttime sky between Sagittarius and Aquarius. Jed.
Capricorn.
You read your zodiac every day, I'm sure. Capricorn is correct for 5 points. Nice job, Capricorn. Oh, the goat. Nice work. End of our 4th round. Yeah, that's right. Our 4th round score is 42-12. Nice start to come back there on No Longer Free Agents, but you've got some more ground to make up. Unfortunately, we don't have any more naked questions.
Just to double check, that surprise substitution came because the nude category was going to have either a picture or a video, right?
That is correct.
That's a real letdown.
I know, right?
I was thinking that.
I actually have the picture. It's not very good. It was a piece of artwork.
Yeah. Was it Venus de Milo or something?
No, it was The Nude Descending a Staircase by Marcel Duchamp.
Oh, very famous.
Yeah. But not quite what many of us might have been looking for. Anyway, bad habits is our next category. Bad habits, speaking of naked stuff. Bad in quotation marks. The letters BAD will appear in every answer. Not necessarily at the beginning. You'll just find bad, BAD, in every single correct answer, okay? So bad habits. 1 point question, hands on buzzers. According to one legend, Oman was the home of this 1001 Nights sailor. Peter.
Sinbad.
Sinbad is the bad habit answer. And for the question, nice job, Peter, for 1 point. 2 point question coming up in bad habits. Ben Franklin said, "There never was a good war or one of these." Ben Franklin said, "There never was a good war or one of these." 10 seconds. Chris.
A bad piece.
A bad piece, E-A-C-E. A bad piece is the correct answer. Nice job. A good war or a bad piece. Still true. 3-point question. Bad habits. Looking for bad. This racket sport was added to the Olympics. Jed.
Badminton.
Badminton is correct for 3 points. I figured once I said racket sport, it wouldn't take long to find out. 4-point question. Bad habits. One of these critters appears on the state flag of Wisconsin. Peter.
Badger.
A badger is correct. I know we got some Wisconsinites out there. Make sure you get that one. Nice job for 4 points. A badger appears on the state flag of Wisconsin. 5-point question. Bad habits. Richard the Lionhearted had a favorite one of these minstrels named Blondel. Gene.
A true bad or.
A troubadour is correct. Nice job. Even with the stilted reading. Troubadour has bad in it and is correct for 5 points. Nice job, Gene. All right, 5 categories. We got our last category, and then we will go to round 2. But our last category is going to be You're in Denial. And denial is Nile, N-I-L-E. Questions about the River Nile. You're in denial. All right, let's see what you know. I said African geography. I'd be good in this one. Question number 1, 1 point. This colorful branch of the Nile River begins at Lake Tana in Ethiopia. This colorful branch of the Nile River begins, Cat.
Blue.
The Blue Nile is correct for 1 point. Nice job. A couple of colors we could have gone with there. Blue Nile is the correct one. 2-point question in You're in Denial. Hands on buzzers. In 1902, construction was completed on the first dam on the Nile at this southern Egyptian city. In 1902, construction was completed on the first dam on the Nile at this southern Egyptian city. 10 seconds. Cat.
What is Thebes?
Thebes is incorrect. We'll take away 2 points. And we'll get it over to no longer free agents. I'll read it one more time for you, though. In 1902, construction was completed on the first dam on the Nile at this southern Egyptian city. 10 seconds.
We're going to pass.
They're going to pass. We got a stumper. Not been many so far. Stumper on Aswan, the Aswan Dam. Aswan Dam.
Okay, Ethan, Cat is out of this round.
Got it. Get out of here, Cat. Hands up. Paws up. 3-point question. 3-point question. Denial. A center of Egypt's rice trade, this Nile Delta city lends its name to an important translating stone. Gene.
Rosetta.
The Rosetta Stone. Rosetta is correct for 3 points. 4-point question. Denial. This ancient Greek historian called Egypt the gift of the Nile. This ancient Greek historian called Egypt the gift of the Nile. 10 seconds. All right, time. You all don't know your Greek historians, apparently. Triple stumper on the show as well. Nobody got this there either. Herodotus. Herodotus was the Greek historian. All right. 5-point question. In denial. Hands on buzzers. In this country, south of Egypt, the Atbara River joins the Nile as its last. Gene.
The Sudan.
Sudan is correct. The Nile, as its last tributary in this country south of Egypt, the Atbara River, is in Sudan. Nice work. So at the end of round one, that is 6 categories already down. The score is 59 for 5 Nut Stuart K. Nice job throughout the round. To 17 no longer free agents. So a good first round out of the way. Now we're all even because everybody's now gone through a round. And in round 2, the point values are doubled. And as I always say, my patience is halved. Make sure you're ringing in and make sure your answers are correct as we go into round 2. Take a big stretch before we go. Get yourselves ready. Got more fun categories. No naked stuff in round 2, though. So can't always have naked stuff. Round 2, again, point values doubled, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. The first category is going to be all about George H.W. Bush.
That's a senior.
That's the senior, yes. The first President Bush, George H.W. Bush. Herbert Walker. Hopefully that's not an answer. Ooh. Anyway, George H.W. Bush. All right, 2-point question. Point values doubled. It's still anybody's game. A lot of points to go. 2-point question. The president banned this from the menu of the presidential jet, saying he hadn't liked it since his mother made him eat it. The president, George H.W. Bush. Cat?
Broccoli.
Broccoli is correct. Good memory on George H.W. Bush's dietary preferences. Broccoli is what he banned from Air Force One. 4-point question. As a pilot in this branch of the service, Bush was shot down near the island of Jean.
He was in the Navy.
He was in the Navy. That is correct for 4 points. He was shot down on near the island of Chichijima on September 2nd, 1944, and was then rescued by the crew of the Finback. If you didn't know that, go ahead and read the George H.W. Bush Wikipedia, because I don't read real books. 6-point question, George H.W. Bush. In the mid-1970s, George H.W. Bush served as chief U.S. liaison to this country that had just opened to the West. In the mid-Gene.
China.
China is correct. And I think that's 2 for you, right, Gene?
That's 2 for me. Yeah.
That's 2 for you. Get out of here. 8-point question, George H.W. Bush. The Bush Library has a replica of the office at Camp David, where on February 1st, 1992, President Bush and this Russian president pledged to end remnants of Cold War hostility. It's a long clue. The Bush Library has a replica of the office at Camp David, where on February 1st, 1992, President Bush and this Russian president, Jed.
Yeltsin?
Yeltsin is correct. Correct Russian president, not our current Russian president. Correct for 8 points. 10-point question.
Did you say our?
Yes, our Russian president. Right? You got it.
Was that like political humor?
A little political humor. You know.
Yeah, you better be careful with political humor.
It's a
Not Bailey's president.
It's a category about politics. 10-point question.
Because he's in Canada.
10-point question. 10-point question. A teakwood gate was presented to George H.W. Bush by the Emir of this country in appreciation for helping the country reclaim its freedom. A teakwood gate. Jed.
Kuwait.
Kuwait is correct. Very odd way to get to Kuwait, but Kuwait is correct for 10 points. And that is all of our questions about George H.W. Bush. They did not ask about his middle names, so I was in the clear on that one. 89-17, 5 Nut Stuart K to no longer free agents. No longer free agents. You still have some ground to make up. Maybe this will be the category. Our next category is country music stars on film. Country music stars on film.
So this is probably country stars who've been in movies.
This would be country stars who have been in movies, yes.
Just to clarify and kill your 10 seconds for you.
I know, right? I'm like, I don't know what else you could do with that.
This is like the 10-second banter.
Yeah.
I've instituted because I was bored.
Yeah. All right, country music stars on film. 2-point question. Two-point question. In Rhinestone, she turned Sly Stallone into a cat.
Leanne Rimes.
Leanne Rimes is incorrect. I think that's what I heard you say. So we'll take away 2 points, and we'll pass it over to the blue team. I'll read the question. In Rhinestone, she turned Sly Stallone into a country singer.
We're going to guess Dolly Parton.
And you're going to guess correctly for 2 points. Dolly Parton turned Sly Stallone into a country singer in the great film Rhinestone. 4-point question. Country music stars on film. Hands on buzzers. Hats off to this singer who played the dad and horse rancher in 2006's Flicka, Bailey.
Tim McGraw?
Tim McGraw is correct. Triple stumper on the show. Apparently not as many country music or the movie Flicka fans as you'd think. But nice job for 4 points. Tim McGraw is correct. 6-point question. He was the mean and abusive Doyle Hargraves in Sling Blade. Gene.
I know this one. Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam is correct. I wasn't sure people would get that one. But Dwight Yoakam was the mean and abusive Doyle Hargraves in Sling Blade. 8-point question. Oh, got to bring back the taco. Dancing taco time. Surprise substitution. Surprise substitution. I can't do the song. I really can't. But the dancing taco is here. Surprise substitution. For the 8-point question, we will get out of country music for a moment, and we will jump into checking. And I should pronounce that better because it is Czech, as in C-Z-E-C-H, king, as in a king. A question about Czech kings. All right. Good play on words. Here we go. 8 points. In 1448, Jury of Poděbrady captured Prague. In 1458, Jury of Poděbrady became the first elected king of this faith in Europe. In 1448, Jury of Poděbrady captured Prague. In 1458, Jury of Poděbrady became the first elected king of this faith in Europe. 10 seconds. Add it to your Wikipedia reading list. That's time. Jury of Poděbrady, which I had to look up the pronunciation of, just for you, became the first elected king of the faith of Protestant. He was the first Protestant king of Europe. Right?
See, I thought it was Scientology, but that's clearly not right.
1458 might be a little early.
A little early? Yeah. Okay.
Man, who doesn't remember the good old mid 1400s? Right? Pretty great. 10-point question. Big point question here. 10-point question. We're back in country music stars on film. So back to country music stars for 10 points. Hands on buzzers. In a 1969 film, he showed some true grit as John Wayne's young sidekick. Gene.
Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell is correct. Well, yeah, 10 points. That's some good trivia knowledge. Triple stumper on the show, so you could feel even extra specialer about your answer. All right, well, that's it for country music stars / our Czech king question. It scores 103-23, an 80-point divide. Still 4 categories to go. I think my housekeeper, who's currently cleaning my house, thinks I'm a crazy person in here talking to myself. But I'm talking to you, so that makes me not crazy. Our next category is going to have very, very short clues. So be prepared to buzz in quickly. So whenever there are short clues, I always warn you, the clues will go very quickly. The next category is called A Century of Reign. Reign, R-E-I-G-N. And I'm going to give you a ruler, and you have to name the century in which they reigned. I will give you a ruler. You name the century in which they reigned. And those are so like the 1900s or the 20th century. I need the century, okay? Right.
Oh, that's tricky.
Yes, I need the
You know, Ethan, I was thinking, I think Tim McGraw played the father in Blindside as well.
Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Tim McGraw is a real superstar.
He's actually in a lot of movies.
Well, I will then, as much as I'm giving you Wikipedia reading lists now, I will go into his IMDb and I will learn everything about what Tim McGraw was in. As my homework. A century of reign. Cool. First question for 2 points. I will give you a ruler, and again, you give me the century. Right. First ruler coming up. England's Henry VIII. England's Henry VIII. Gene.
The 16th century.
The 16th century is correct. The 1500s. The 16th century is correct for 2 points. 4-point question. Here's another ruler. Germany's Kaiser Wilhelm I. Germany's Kaiser Wilhelm. Gene.
The 19th century.
The 19th century is correct. You're all done, Gene. Get out of here. 3 more questions, though, still in a century of reign. Third question coming up for 6 points. France's Louis XV. France's Louis XV. Time. The 18th century, the 1700s, the 18th century. Triple stumper on the show.
Hey, Ethan?
Yep.
Are you worried that Gene might hurt his tongue biting it on the next 2 questions?
It's quite possible.
I'm afraid. Gene, put a
Don't bite your
protect your tongue.
2 more questions. 8-point question in a century of reign. England's William II. England's William II. Cat.
The 11th century.
1066 is a good year. 11th century is correct for 8 points. Nice job. England's William II. Way to put that one together. 11th century is correct. And the 10-point question. The 10-point question. There are only so many centuries, and you can guess. Huh? 10-point question. Italy's Victor Emmanuel III for 45 years of it. Italy's Victor Emmanuel III, 45 years of it. All right, time. The 20th century. The 20th century. It was like from 1900 to 1945. He was the king of Italy. Italy's only been, well, anyway, that's fine. 10-point question. Nobody got it on the show either. 20th century was Victor Emmanuel III. I was actually just in Rome 2 weeks ago, and I went to the statue of Victor I. His grandfather, Victor I, is buried in the Pantheon. So if you ever go to the Pantheon, you can see Victor III's grandfather was the first king of Italy. Okay, 3 categories left. It scores 117 to 23. Again, no longer free agents. Got to buzz in here. Got to catch you up. Next category is fairies. Fairies, and not like the boats, like the flying magical things. Okay, fairies. F-A-I-R-I-E-S. Rochelle, did you have something witty about fairies?
No, I'm not coming up with any.
No. I'll have to give you the categories ahead of time so you can get some good ones.
Oh yeah, that would help with my banter.
All right, I'll work on it. It's still early in the season of TPT. We don't have all of our fun banter worked out. All right, fairies. 2-point question. Hands on buzzers. It's estimated that the amount left by this fairy has grown from 25 cents to around, Jed.
The Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy is the correct fairy here. From 25 cents to around $2 over the past 25 years. That's 8 times inflation in 25 years. 4-point question in fairies. She appoints Jiminy Cricket Pinocchio's official conscience. Bailey.
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell is incorrect.
Oh.
I know. 4 points to the other team. She appoints Jiminy Cricket Pinocchio's official conscience.
We will steal for funsies, and we're going to call it the Blue Fairy.
For funsies, it is the Blue Fairy. And that is correct for 4 points. Nice job. Another solid steal by the red team. All right, 6-point question coming up in fairies. In a famous ballet, her dance is preceded Jean.
Tchaikovsky, the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Not sure what I was asking. The Sugar Plum Fairy is correct. In the famous ballet, her dance is preceded by the Waltz of the Flowers. The Sugar Plum Fairy is correct. Nice job for 6 points. 8-point question in fairies. This fairy, in The Tempest, serves the magician Prospero without grudge or grumblings. This fairy, in The Tempest, serves the magician Prospero without grudge or grumblings. 10 seconds. Haven't read up recently on your Shakespeare. The Tempest, it was Ariel. Ariel, like the Little Mermaid. Ariel was the name of the fairy in The Tempest. All right. Well, nobody buzzed in on that one. We got a 10-point question in fairies. Last question in the category. Fingers on buzzers. This fairy of Irish legend has long streaming hair and fiery red eyes from continual wailing. This fairy of Irish legend has long streaming hair and fiery red eyes. Janet.
I don't know. I'm just going to guess a banshee.
A banshee is correct for 10 points. Solid guess. Way to get yourself some points with only a couple categories left. Nice job for 10 points. Banshee is the Irish fairy. 2 categories left. In our final round. 100 points separates the two teams. 129 for 5 Not Stuart. Okay. 29 for no longer free agents. I'm trying to add up the number of points that are left. I don't know if there's going to be enough, but we'll see what we can do. The next category is characters in literature. Characters in literature. Who is well-read among you?
So these are probably people, characters in books.
People in books would be a good way of describing characters in literature.
Hey, Ethan, is it just? Do you think Bailey looks like a young Julia Stiles?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally get told that like once a week. So
okay.
So
I'm not an original. I'm very. That's how I remember people. Like, what celebrity do they look like?
It's funny. I don't think I look like anyone. But I got there was a person at the Kentucky Derby that was on the NBC footage of the Kentucky Derby, and multiple people have come up to me and said, "Oh, I saw you at the Kentucky Derby." So I finally found the clip, and the guy does look exactly like me. It's really creepy. So I have some twin who was drinking a mint julep at the Kentucky Derby.
I wonder if maybe it's your evil twin.
It could be. Yeah. He was like thumbs upping while drinking a mint julep, which is exactly what I would be doing. So I thought it was pretty cool. Characters in literature, 2-point question, hands on buzzers. This treacherous pirate in Treasure Island has a pet parrot named Cat. No.
Long John Silver.
Long John Silver is correct. His parrot is not named Cat. That was just an odd cut. A parrot named Captain Flint. So nice job, Cat. Long John Silver is the treacherous pirate in Treasure Island. Yarr. Characters in literature, 4 points. A gray spider named Charlotte brings about a series of miracles to keep this pig from the butcher's beater.
Wilbur.
Wilbur is the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web. I was wondering if somebody would ring in too early, give me the wrong answer. Gray spider named Charlotte brings about a series of miracles to keep this pig from the butcher's knife. The pig is Wilbur. 6-point question. This ex-CIA agent, who's in search of his identity, has appeared...
Bourne.
Jason Bourne is correct for 6 points. In search of his identity. Really gave it away. Has appeared in 3 novels by Robert Ludlum and 2 by Eric van Lustbader. 8-point question. That's fun to say. 8-point question, literature characters. Tom Sawyer saw him murder Dr. Robinson in the cemetery and testified against him in court. Gene.
Injun Joe.
Injun Joe is the murderer. Correct for 8 points. Get your hands out of here. You don't get to answer the 10-point question. 10-point question in characters in literature. This E.L. Doctorow title character joins Dutch Schultz's gang as a 15-year-old in 1930s New York City. This E.L. Doctorow title character joins Dutch Schultz's Bailey.
I'm going with a random guess here. We're going with Ponyboy.
Ponyboy is incredibly incorrect. We will take away 10 points. I appreciate the gusto. Incredibly incorrect. I'll read it one more time for the other team. And Chris, and now Gene can actually talk to you, Chris. You guys can discuss it. This E.L. Doctorow title character joins Dutch Schultz's gang as a 15-year-old in 1930s New York City. All right, I need an answer.
We're gonna, as much as we don't want to, we're gonna pass.
Wasn't
It's
this
okay,
a movie with Dustin Hoffman? I don't
Really?
remember the name of the character.
It's Billy Bathgate.
Yeah, Billy Bathgate. Nicole Kidman was in it too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I read Billy Bathgate a long time ago.
It was
He
Triple
wasn't
Stumper on
Dustin
the
Hoffman.
show.
But not Tim McGraw.
No, Tim McGraw was not in that one.
I only watch movies with Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
I've actually seen the one she's talking about too, but
You wouldn't
That's a
remember
lie.
that.
Gene watches other movies. He told us.
Yeah, well, we should sponsor, like, at the home office. We can have like a Tim McGraw movie
Film
marathon.
festival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just all Tim McGraw movies. I like it. Last category, scores 145 to 23. Last category is my favorite category in all-time Jeopardy of all time ever. It is before and after, and hopefully most of you know how before and after works. Two things that are completely unrelated but share a specific part of their answer will be combined into one answer. So examples would be like Lazy Susan Sarandon, right? That's a good example.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thanks. The Land of Milk and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'll try to get better ones for later versions of before and after. But before and after. So I'll give you 2 clues. I'll read these very slowly, just because you're going to have to find the 2 different elements and then combine them for an answer, okay? Before and after.
Goldie Hawn of the Dead? No, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. It's got to be, yeah. It could be like PM Dawn of the Dead. I remember PM Dawn.
No.
They did that one song, PM Dawn. And whenever I ask my Alexa to play the song by PM Dawn, it always says Prime Minister Dawn, which I don't know if that's actually the name of the band was Prime Minister Dawn, or if it just takes the letters PM and thinks that they're supposed to be Prime Minister. Not that interesting of a story though. So before and after. I'll go with the first one. We'll learn how this works. 2 points. Kid's story character who says, "The sky is falling. The sky is falling. A wop bop a loo mop a lop bam boom." Gene.
It's Chicken Little Richard.
Chicken Little Richard is correct for 2 points. See, it's such a fun category. All right, Chicken Little Richard, good job for 2 points. 4-point question coming up. A dangerous substance like asbestos, that's a Madonna hit in which a boy with the cold hard cash is Mr. Right. A dangerous substance like asbestos, that's a Madonna hit in which Jed.
Hazardous Material Girl.
Hazardous Material Girl is correct. Nice solving on that one for 4 points. Okay, 6-point question, before and after. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch this folktale play that ends with the death of Sir Thomas More. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch this folktale play. Peter.
The Gingerbread Man for All Seasons.
The Gingerbread Man for All Seasons is correct. Nice work for 6 points. The Gingerbread Man for All Seasons is correct. 8-point question, before and after. Aerosmith's song that says, "She had the body of a Venus, imagine my surprise." and is a Disney movie about two dogs in love? Gene.
Dude Looks Like a Lady and the Tramp.
Dude Looks Like a Lady and the Tramp is correct for 8 points. Such a fun category. Love it. You're out, Gene. 10-point question. Our last question of the game. No longer free agents. I don't think you can catch up on this question, but let's try anyway. Our last question for 10 points of before and after. A collaboration between Milan Kundera and Jean-Paul Sartre on a massive treatise about existentialism. Collaboration between Milan Kundera and Jean-Paul Sartre on a massive treatise about existentialism. 10 seconds. All right, time. Rochelle, Gene, do you know it?
I know half of it, the being in nothingness, but I didn't know the other half.
It is the unbearable lightness of being and nothingness. The unbearable lightness of being and nothingness. It was a triple supper on the show. I actually had a Gene. To be fair, I only had the first half when I first read the question.
You ever see that movie, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, with Daniel Day-Lewis?
I never saw it.
It has Daniel Day-Lewis and Juliette Binoche.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
And I called it The Unbearable Length of This Movie.
So a ringing endorsement, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of our game. It is 159-29. A 5-0 Stuart K. Nice work once again. Great score. Great number of points out of y'all. No longer free agents. Don't worry. Your journey does not end here today. You will be sent on to the not losers bracket. There's a nicer name for it. The consolation bracket, with a chance to make your way back to the finals. All right. So another matchup in store for both of you. Good luck as you go forward. Hopefully you get out of the Scranton bracket and you get to see Bob at some point. Have a good rest of your Wednesday, and thank you all. Great match.